Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, back with another action-packed session. Today, we're going to be doing some live Q&A. So if you have any questions, anything at all about real estate, drop it in the chat section, drop it in the comment section. We're going to go through that and answer all of your questions live. But I've compiled some of the questions that you guys have been texting me over the last couple of weeks. So we'll answer some of the top questions there and just kind of free flow a little bit. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe, and leave a comment that says, I subscribed. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to one of my free real estate trainings. It'll show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. If you want to learn more about our Boots on the Ground program, where we build houses for you in Philly, if you want to learn more about our ride along, which we're going to be doing a ride along at the top of the new year, where we're going to take a small group, about 10 to 15 people, on a private tour of the city. We're going to go and inspect properties together, look at different rehab projects that are in full gut construction phases, and meet contractors, kind of do all of that stuff. Look at hotspots and see how you can invest, like even out of town where your money goes further. If you want to tap into that, reach out, click the links in the description. Make sure you're just saying tapped in. And then, of course, we have the VIP mentorship program where we work with you one-on-one. You guys know how to get a hold of me. However you got here, reach out. Definitely tap into some of the links in the description, and you'll get tapped right in. So, guys, let's dive into this thing. I want to start off with a little bit of mindset. And this mindset is important because I'm actually putting together a new webinar training that you guys will get to tap into, that is going to break down what I call like my 5-minute strategy. This is essentially what I do on a daily basis to get deals, to find some of the best deals on the market. And the mindset I want you guys to tap into, because it's the truth, is it only takes 5 minutes per day to get of consistency to get results in real estate. 5 minutes per day. If you can commit to waking up and adding real estate into part of your daily routine, just 5 minutes in the morning, you can actually get results in real estate. You can get some of the best deals on the market in real estate with just a 5-minute focus. And it's important to be of this mindset because so many people fear. I found, like, I get the blessing of talking to like all of you and hundreds of people every month who are interested in mentorship. And I get to see why some people take the steps forward into their journey and focus on the value long-term that's going to be there for them and their family. And while some people just fail to take action, I get to see it. And one of the things, believe it or not, it's not money. It's not cash, credit. It's not know-how. A lot of people are actually afraid of the commitment. They're afraid of the consistency. They're afraid of, like, I'll get questions, Brian, how much time do I have to put in to real estate? Is real estate going to pull me in like it pulled you in? I mean, sometimes you guys might look at, my YouTube channel or the Instagram, and they're like, man, this guy's doing a lot of real estate. He's just doing it all day. Is this like going to consume my life? Am I going to have free time? Am I going to be able to travel and spend more time with my family, or is real estate going to consume me? And the answer is, you can totally design real estate around your lifestyle. That's why real estate is the best business on the planet, because you can build as much income as you want, as much passive income as you want in real estate, whatever you want to do. If you want $2,000 a month in cash flow and then you're good, you can build that. 4 or 5 properties, property management, done. Then you're on the beach somewhere. If you want 10,000, 20,000, you can scale there. Like, you can build it truly however you want, but you don't need to be intimidated by the process, because it only truly takes 5 minutes a day of consistency to get to the results that you're looking for. And then you can scale from there. So when you're just getting started and you're deciding, am I going to get into this journey? Is this the right fit for me? Don't let that fear of maybe even looking at me or somebody like me and saying, wow, that level that they're operating on, that's intimidating to me. I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can operate at that level. I don't know if I can wake up every day and stay tapped in and be consistent every day. Don't tap into those fears, into that mindset, because that's a fear-based mindset that will naturally hold you back from getting results. One, it's a lie, because you can always design this real estate game to fit your needs, to fit your lifestyle. This is not like the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 fits your boss's lifestyle because you're working while they're on vacation and kind of doing other things. Or they might be leaning in and tapping in, but they're really, if they're a good boss, delegating as much work to you so that they can have more free time to think and work on the business, not in it. But you can design this to how you need to live, how you want to live, what you want to do for your family. But it all starts with that 5 minutes, that 5-minute routine. And like I said, I'm going to put together, I don't want to spend this whole session on that 5-minute routine because I'm putting together a training, a webinar training. It'll probably be about somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour. But I'm going to give you the 3 systems, the 3 skill sets that you guys need to be able to execute on this 5-minute strategy and start to get results. It's the only 3 things that you need to know to get results, to get your first deal, your next deal, or scale up. There's only 3 things you need to know. I'm going to be breaking it down. I'll release that hopefully in a couple of weeks because I really want to put the right amount of time into this training so that you guys can get the most value out of it. But stay tapped into that mindset. 5 minutes per day, waking up, scanning the market, and looking for value. If you just do that every day, just that one activity, you're going to get what you want. And the thing that you have to keep in mind is that you're going to get faster. How can I do this in 5 minutes? It sounds unbelievable that you can trade in your 9 to 5, working as much as you work, your commute, all of that stuff for 5 minutes a day of work and more or less make way more money in the real estate in 5 minutes a day of actual work. But what happens over the course of time is you get faster. That's why you're able to execute at that level is you just get faster. You can get to the point where you can analyze any deal on the market in 60 seconds or less, which means you can analyze 5 deals, the best 5 deals you see today in 5 minutes and get on with your business, pass that work off to a VA and start to execute. And it's just a matter of systems and knowledge, but you can get fast enough to get to this level. And as soon as you get fast enough, you will start to beat out all of the competition because the competition is too distracted, too fear-based to ever get the results that they're looking for. So guys, just stay tapped in. I'll have more information on this a little bit later, but don't get intimidated by the process. Don't get intimidated by gurus or different people out there standing in front of Lamborghinis, flashing off and trying to show you a lifestyle. Don't be intimidated by that. Just trust the process, trust the blueprint. Understand there's nothing new under the sun. I didn't invent these real estate strategies. These real estate strategies exist. There are blueprints for them. And if you tap into them, you can get the same results as anybody can get in this game, including me. You can get the same results as me. You can leapfrog me. You can do more deals than I've ever done. And you guys have that opportunity, especially if you're in the mentorship program and you're getting access to my blueprint, because I'm breaking it down for you. If you take the time to go through the content and utilize the mentorship program, you can get to where you want to go. So guys, if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment that says I subscribed, share the content with somebody who you want to get value, somebody who's looking to get into real estate or who you think should get into real estate investing to put their family in a better position, or just sometimes it's like, put your boy into real estate because having a friend in real estate can help you. Those are more resources. They might have contractors they can lend you. They have relationships they can lend you. Put your family in real estate. Pull that guy off the couch, your friend, pull him off the couch, put him on your team, put him on your crew, and utilize the real estate to benefit your entire family, your entire operation, your whole ecosystem, everybody around you. You want them in real estate. Knowledge of real estate is the power. It is the real power. They say knowledge is power, but when you look at how knowledge is branded in our country, we'll just talk about us. In our country, they say knowledge is power, but realistically, the degree is the power, right? Because you go to school and you learn a lot of things that don't really apply to you knowing how to manage money, knowing how to manage your personal finances, or knowing how to manage real estate, which is the true wealth of our country. That's where most millionaires are made. So you can go to school and learn a lot of things and get a degree. And you say, well, the knowledge is power. No, your degree is the power. Everybody's just trying to get the degree or the MBA or this next level degree, but they don't know anything about how to really build wealth for themselves and their family. When you tap into a mentorship program like this, and we're layering it with mindset financial planning principles, wealth management, credit repair and credit management and oversight, and then real estate knowledge at an expert level, that knowledge is truly power. It is not a degree. It is not the illusion of power. It's the real power. It can unlock you. And it's not about short-term results either. It's not about jumping in and grabbing 50K out of the game. You might do that. You may hit a big win. But having access to this knowledge long-term, and then also we say, yes, action is the power. Action is the power of this thing. That also is going to get you there. So the knowledge and then the action behind it. If you don't take action, you never win, which is why you have to get into mentorship, get into the game, go out and get your first deal done, to take that action behind the knowledge and mix the two together, marry those two. But these degrees, these different things out there that'll just get you roped into the 9 to 5, it's not the power. That's how you give up your power. You're giving up your power to the degree and to the system. When you learn about this stuff, you're taking your power back. You're taking your energy back and applying it directly to you and your family and things that will give you long-term results. So that's what it's about. Daryl said, I'm about to turn 50. Happy birthday, or coming up soon. That's my goal for all of next year. Definitely. That's why we're doing the ride along at the top of the new year, because it's the New Year's, resolution. It's the New Year's resolution to tap into this real estate. But yeah, turning 50, I've talked to a lot of guys, they're in their late 40s, turning 50s, and they're like, this is the second half of my life. I'm ready to do this real estate thing. Like I'm all in. So definitely stay tapped in. If you want to tap into the mentorship program, reach out and we'll get you started. Let me see this. Say, hello, Brian. I want to be part of your group. I have some money and I'm willing to be a partner with someone who's, I'm not sure what that, but like screened by me. I can provide proof if a fund partnership up to 5 mil. All right. Well, if anybody needs it, you should definitely tap into the Facebook group. Definitely tap into the Facebook group. I sent out a message on that recently to everybody. We have some amazing people within the community that we've been building. And if you guys should utilize the Facebook group to connect with each other and to engage with these different partnership options, or some people are buyers and sellers, some people are wholesaling. You guys can get deals going all across the country just by staying tapped in and engaged into the Facebook group. Let's get into some of these questions. It said, are the boots on the ground videos going to be uploaded to the 100 Keys Masterclass? Yeah, I am working on that and putting together that virtual ride along content. So we're still building that. We've been putting out a lot of the clips from the last ride along into the Instagram, into the YouTube. So that stuff's all sprinkled around. But the boots on the ground videos in particular, and what we do there, those are mostly just for the boots on the ground members. So the boots on the ground is kind of it's a different beast in itself. That's for people who are just like, hey, can you just build it for me? Can you tenant it for me? Can you property manage it for me? So it's a bit of a different process. Casey said, I know I'm 40 something and I'm burnt out from working in the hospital field. How can I get started? You just got to tap in, Casey. You just got to tap in. I mean, look, the 9 to 5 is going to take your energy, no matter what field you're in or what you're doing. Definitely the hospital field can be tough because you guys are working long hours and you have that long work, double shift type of culture. And as you get over the hill, or you've been doing it for 10, 15 years, you definitely can hit burnout. And the only way to get out of burnout is to find excitement again. And how you find excitement and change the narrative of your 9 to 5 is to start taking that money and stacking it and then putting it into real estate. Because then you can start to view your 9 to 5 as your partner, your investment partner for the real estate. And they're funding your dream. They're funding your exit, your early retirement. So you really do, if you want to reinvigorate yourself, you really do want to get into real estate and start to tap yourself back in and get a deal going. Just get a deal going. Right now is a really good time to get a deal, guys, because rents are going up. Rents have increased exponentially I think I dropped a video earlier today, but rents in Philly, I've been talking about it. They're up 30 to 60%. Rents are up nationally in most markets about 14, 15% year over year. Rents are outpacing, interest rate increases, inflation, all of it. They're going up. And that's good if you're a landlord. If you're a landlord, you want rents to inflate, to offset these carrying costs, to offset increasing interest rates and all these different things. So rents are going up. This is good for us, and it creates a lot of buying opportunities. So if you're 40, if you're 50, whatever you are, our youngest mentee joined at 19, just turned 20, got his first deal. No matter how old you are, now is the best time to get started. Now is the best time to get in. It's today. It's right now. You just have to lock in. So if you're interested in tapping into the mentorship program, click the link in the description, the first link. It'll take you to a free training, and then you can book a call. There'll be like a button where you can book a call with me and my team. You can schedule, hop on the calendar. And when you schedule that, we'll send you another level of free training that's going to really start to show you what's behind the scenes in this game, and how we're going to set you up and not only educate you, but then hold your hand through a couple of deals. And you'll be working with me in the VIP program one-on-one. So that is the way to get results, is one-on-one mentorship. Let's get into some of these questions. And guys, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section, and we'll get this thing going. Here's a question that I got, and that a lot of people will have, and I'll just bounce around on these questions. Should I start off as a realtor before getting into real estate investing? So a lot of us, we're not sure, and a lot of realtors do enroll in the mentorship program over the course of time, but a lot of us are not sure, like, what path should I take? Should I become a realtor? If I become a realtor, I can maybe try to sell a couple properties and make some commissions, and I can do it part-time. It feels a little bit less intimidating than trying to go out and truly become a real estate investor, which at times can feel like it's more freelance. But to me, it gives you a bit more control because you know a lot more about all these disciplines. You're not just a realtor. You're not just a lender. You're not just a broker. You're not just a contractor. You're kind of a mixture of all of these different components. So my answer to this is, one, most realtors are doing the reverse. They get into the realtor game, and just like anything else, you can burn out as a realtor. You can just flat out burn out. You got to see a lot of houses. There's a lot of competition in the realtor game. There are people who've been doing this game for 10, 15, 20 years who have deeper relationships to you. And the retention rate for realtors is not high. Most people are in and out of that business in 2-3 years. Investors, I would say most people who get heavily into real estate investing, they kind of do it until they die. They kind of just keep going. I have seen very few people get into that game and have success and then say, like, I'm going to stop as a investor. You just keep investing and you keep scaling up to bigger and better assets. So I would say the way to start off is actually as a real estate investor, either on the wholesale side, if you're trying to start off without a ton of cash or credit, and you just want to leverage, talking to motivated sellers or learning about creative financing, how to invest without cash and credit, leveraging some of these skill sets. And we'll talk about some of that stuff too a little bit later, but how to leverage some of those skill sets to get in. Or if you have a little bit of cash, I was talking to somebody today who tapped in to mentorship, but he's starting off with like a nice pool of money, like almost 200K, 250K. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, bro, you got it. You got a nice little nest egg. If you take that and put it in the right assets, you're going to be where you want to go. You're going to build up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month in cash flow. And, you'll never have to work for anybody again, as long as we do it within the right city. So learning how to be an investor, you get all these skill sets that are going to make you better than any realtor, because you're going to learn the cost of construction, how to find profitable deals, how to connect with lenders, all the different costs of working with lenders, timelines, time frames, permits, expediters, plan examiners. You're going to start to learn how to think like an architect, how to think like an appraiser, all these different skill sets. And even if you weren't successful as an investor, let's say the worst case, you tap into mentorship, you learn how to become an investor, you go out, you get a couple deals done, you're not highly successful, you say, maybe I'll just become a realtor and I think I can streamline my success there. When you go backwards to becoming a realtor, well, now you're so unlocked. You're super unlocked because as that realtor, you can walk in a house with somebody and they're like, hey, how much you think this is going to cost to fix? And you know the answer. And you know the value. You know how to think like an appraiser. You know all of these things above and beyond the scope of your typical realtor. So now it gives you a competitive advantage. So I would say the way to do it is actually backwards. For most people. Most people think become the realtor. First, I would say that is, you can always be a realtor. You can always fall back on that. It's never going anywhere. Learn how to be an investor as soon as possible and as young as possible. And then take that knowledge and keep leveling up over the course of time, and you'll be more successful. Daryl said, with the interest rates out of control, going higher and higher, will this be a harder market to navigate? Well, no, because it's kind of what I said today in a video I posted. I got to repost it. I posted it to Instagram, and then I had another one come in, so I took it down. But one of the things I said is, that's fine, actually. One of the things that I said was, with the market, it doesn't just roll over and play dead. So a lot of people think rates go up and the market's just going to sit there and watch rates rise and just not react. You've seen multiple layers of reactions to rising interest rates. One, we're seeing 40-year mortgages. Yeah, you guys renovate properties. That's good. We'll talk about that too. You got 40-year mortgages coming out. So they're extending the period of time for the repayment, which is lowering the monthly payment. So that can increase your cash flow. So you have that. You have now Fannie and Freddie mortgages will allow you to do 5 or 10% down on multi-family properties. This has never been done before. Typically, you would have to put down 20 to 30%, sometimes as much as 35% on a multi. So this is now allowing the average person, the average bear, I call it, to show up to the table with 5 or 10% down on a most likely an owner-occupied multifamily property. And that unlocks you. So now you can get more with less. Then you have rents increasing. So now, because rates are higher and carrying costs on these assets are higher, rents are going up substantially. In Philly, they went up on the affordable housing side 30 to 60% overnight, October 1st. And they actually wrote, I took the time today to read Section 8's briefing on that. They literally wrote, in order to be more competitive with today's market, we increased our rents across the boards at a minimum of 27% across all zip codes. And that's the minimum. On average, is around 30 to 60% in some zip codes. So the market is it's not a dog. It doesn't roll over and play dead because of higher interest rates. The market is responding. The response time, it just takes time. It's delayed. So you have to watch this like I do as an economist. So I'm sitting back and watching, how are the market makers going to respond to this? Because they don't lose money. The market is about sharks. It's a market full of sharks. And sharks got to keep swimming. Even when a shark sleeps, it's still swimming. It's still swimming through the water, even when it's sleeping. Because if it doesn't swim, it drowns. It sinks, right? So this is a shark market. And the market makers, the lenders, the mortgage brokers, the realtors associations, everybody, all of the money that's moving around, they're constantly trying to find an edge and how to outcompete in the market to make more commissions. So they start adjusting over the course of time. And the adjustments that you're seeing are less money down, higher rents, and that's going to offset. Now, the National Association of Realtors and some of these other lending, these agencies that will track the different market movements and where rates are going to go, they're projecting that rates in 2024 will dip back into like the 6.1% range by the mid to end of 2024. So what you're looking at right now is a window of opportunity where you can buy a property, lock in super high rents with low money down, and then refinance that deal as rates fall. As rates go back down from 7.5 to or 7.7 to 6.1, you can refinance into that 6.1, unlock even more cash flow. And I think the savvy investor who's not afraid, who's not into that fear mongering on, the major news sites, and who is just looking at this clear minded, is going to see some opportunities, because I've seen properties that were cash flowing $200 a month start cash flowing $700 a month overnight with these rent increases, even at 7.5% interest rate. So you just have to stay in the game. The game moves like that. So if you sit on the sidelines and you're worried about what the news is talking about, you miss the opportunity. The rents go up like that. And if you've been sitting on the sidelines or saying, I'll get in a mentorship when the market changes. And by the time the market changes, and if you still don't know anything and you're not connected and you haven't been putting yourself in striking distance, well, then you just sit there. Now you're trying to hustle up, but other people are out taking advantage of all the opportunities. And then when you couple that with the fact that we're going into that winter season where prices will stay flat, but on the top end, but on the bottom end, when you're talking about properties that need heavy renovation, those properties start to go down in cost, because there are less developers who want to develop in the winter. Some just do spring seasons and summer. They don't want to build in the winter. So the prices of those shells goes down. So you can go in and grab these properties on the cheap, renovate them, and cash flow the heck out of them. So these are all the different opportunities and things that are happening in the market that nobody's talking about, quite frankly, because it's more fun to talk about. It's more fun, and you get more clicks to fearmonger. This is the end. The market's crashing. It's not. Prices are going down on the West Coast because it was way overpriced. On the East Coast and some of the Midwest, but mostly the East Coast and Northeast corridor, rents are going way up. Prices are stable. So it's still a really good market. And if you and your nephew are into renovating properties, or you know how to work with your hands, then you guys just need to know how the money game works, how the lenders work, how to analyze deals, how to find profitable deals. Once you learn how to find profitable deals, you guys are unlocked. So that 5-minute strategy we're talking about, like waking up every day, putting in that consistency on finding deals, if you guys just get fine-tuned in that and learn how to do that, you will naturally start to acquire properties at a developer's price where you can have a spread. Then you guys already know how to build. I mean, there's no reason why. I don't want to make this sound too easy, but realistically, there's no reason why you couldn't make $1 million doing that. It's $1 million skill set to know how to build houses. It's a multi-million dollar skill set. So once you get the hang of it and build your systems and start finding the profitable deals and increase your consistency, you're going to win. You're going to win. Should I administer my grandmother's estate or just do a deed of adverse possession? I'm not sure where that deal is at. That's a heavyweight question, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if your grandmother passed or if she's still alive. But if that thing's already in probate, you're kind of looking at it has to go through probate, and then you have to just get it listed and move it. If you're trying to keep it, that's a different story. But then there's estate taxes and inheritance taxes, and there's different things that you could run into. So I'd really have to sit down with the specific situation. The higher interest rates, Rob says, the higher interest rates are allowing the educated investor to win. Exactly. The thing about real estate is the knowledge is asymmetrical. It's not evenly dispersed. So there are people who know a ton. They know, oh, with that zoning, I can do X, Y, Z. I can convert it to this, or I can blow the roof off and build up a level. And they know all this stuff. And then there are people who don't know anything. And they're all competing in the market. So as soon as you become more sophisticated and you learn kind of what you're doing, you can outcompete the market, is the bottom line. You can outcompete the market. That's just what it is. Rap Alliance Productions, Public Relations. My name is Brian Jones. I'm a contractor working in the New Orleans area. If anybody's trying to do any deals in New Orleans, then you can definitely tap in. But I believe you're already in the Facebook group. But that could be a nice plug for any of you guys out in that pocket or thereabout. Love to talk to you about doing some deals. Let's definitely talk. Let's definitely talk. You know how to get a hold of me. However you got here, just reach out. You can text me, email me, or click the link in the description, book a call, and we'll connect. I'm happy to connect. Let's get into some more questions. And you guys, if you have more questions, just drop them in the chat. Let's talk about this because some people will have these questions. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't give a full overview of Section 8. But what Section 8 is in general is a voucher-based program where there's like a backlog of tens of thousands of people in almost every city, every major city at least, that want to get qualified for this program. So they fill out applications and they get put on a waiting list. Once you get approved, this program will essentially pay a large portion of your rent, somewhere between 70 to 100% of your rent. So you have people who are running around in these major cities with vouchers. Some of these vouchers will come with expiration dates. So you'll get a voucher issued, and then it's like, hey, you got your voucher, you run around, and you need to get plugged into a property within 60 days. If you get plugged into that property within 60 days, boom, your voucher's good. If not, it's going to expire. You have to renew it. So they're running around with these vouchers. Only 30% of landlords accept Section 8 voucher holders because there's a stigma around Section 8 that they'll tear up your crib, basically. And being around, a lot of Section 8, growing up, around Section 8 tenants, I've seen some cribs get trashed, just completely trashed, because sometimes people will move in. If they don't own it, they're just going to destroy it. You can inspect for that. You can go in and kind of look at the property they're living in currently and inspect to see how they're going to take care of your deal. But, you have to do your different underwriting here. You have to evaluate these different tenants. Some of the pitfalls of Section 8, but that's what Section 8 is. And this is why you would accept them. Any property can be Section 8 ready. You can just accept a voucher. And once you do, you go through the process. They inspect your property, show that it's up to HUD housing guidelines, just scraped and paint. There's no chip paint. There's no tripping hazards, kind of the basics. And then you will get certified and you can collect these rents directly from the government. There are properties where the government pays 100% of the rent. So that can be fantastic. I mean, it's the best thing since a municipal bond. So some of the pitfalls is Section 8 can move a little slower. It's going to move slower than your regular market tenant, because your regular market tenant, if they got cash, they just say, look, I got $1,200 and the rent is whatever it is. Maybe the rent's $600 a month for one bed somewhere. They got 2 months rent. Here's the $1,200. Here's the keys. Done. That's the deal. With Section 8, there's that inspection process, and that can slow things down. There's also recertifications every year where they come out and do inspections. If they fail you, you have to fix everything. So there's just different pitfalls there in terms of being slower in terms of a process. The benefit of dealing with that slower turn time of marketing to a specific pool of tenants that has a slower onboarding process is that your rents are guaranteed by the government. And in most cases, they will pay a premium. They will pay a fair market value rent, even in the hood. So you can collect a premium on your property above the market rental. So the market tenant might pay $1,800 a month, whereas Section 8 is paying $2,500 a month. So for that extra $700, you have to do a cost benefit analysis of, does it make more sense to wait a little while longer, maybe an extra month or two, to get that extra money? The average Section 8 tenant stays in your property for about 8 years, somewhere between 5 to 8, but sometimes longer. So once you get them in, you can collect a lot of money, and it can be a low headache as long as you have the right tenant. So I get that question a lot. Section 8 to me is great, especially when they're paying a premium and you just wait it out. You can get impatient, but just wait that thing out, because once you get that voucher, and especially if you hit the jackpot and it's one of those vouchers where they're paying 100% of the rent, I mean, it's as good as gold. That means you don't have to chase anybody for your money. Like, you're going to get paid. And that takes, as a landlord, essentially all the risk out, or 90% of the risk out, in my opinion. So that is that. What other questions do we have? Brian, love the content as always. What's your high level timeline on training, offering virtual assistants? Um, do you mean my timeline if I was going to train and offer virtual assistants, or the timeline for just training virtual assistants? If I'm doing it, it just takes, it depends on what task these VAs are going to be doing. So if they're just cold calling or things of that nature, that can get, done pretty quickly. Matter of like a week or so, you can get handed a VA. If you need a virtual assistant to do high level deal analysis, like, hey, I want them to be able to wake up and run that 5-minute drill, analyze all the deals on the market, plug numbers, connect with wholesalers, reach out and help me to push deals and get deals under contract. It's a different level, and it takes a little bit longer to train somebody to that skill set. That might take them at least 4 to 8 weeks to really get trained up. And some people just can't hack it. Some virtual assistants, it's like you get them, you can train them, but they can't execute at that level. So it's difficult. I mean, this is a level that is not easy to execute on, especially if you're not from the US. So you don't truly understand the real estate. Part of being good as a real estate investor is having some understanding of what these neighborhoods look like. Like, I don't need to walk through Compton to know what the hood is going to be like in Compton. Like, it's going to be kind of like the hood in other places. There's definitely going to be differences, right? But there's going to be a lot of similarities. So having that experience allows you to do it a lot faster. Some people are able to pick it up remotely and be successful, but it can take varying amounts of time. And I would say the number one thing that takes time, what is two? One is thinking like an appraiser and really understanding valuation, training that eye, because when you first start looking at pictures and videos of properties, you can't see far. You have on like beer goggles, like you can't see the reality of what is happening in that video, or what those pictures are trying to tell you. So it takes time to hone your eye so that you can see clearly and build your rehab budgets correctly, and then just thinking like an appraiser and controlling your values. So having the right vision on the valuation standpoint, and then your budgeting, building your rehab budgets. Those are two things that take a lot of time. So somebody can get trained into it for sure, but it just takes the right amount of time. All the knowledge is in the 100 Keys Masterclass. So I have seen people hire virtual assistants and just tap them into some of the course content to be like, hey, I need you to learn this. I need you to learn how to do this task. And that's a successful path, because if they're learning directly from me, they're going to be able to regurgitate that information, repackage it, and present it back to you at a higher level. So hopefully that helps. Say, hey, Brian, glad to join. Definitely. Thanks for tapping in. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. If you're new to the channel, leave a comment that says I subscribe so I can send you instant access to my free real estate training. Click the links in the description, and definitely share the content with somebody who you want to get value and who you think should tap into this real estate game. What else do we have? Here's one. What should I be saying to motivated sellers on the phone? One, and I was almost going to do and we may do it later, like a cold calling session. You guys can let me know if that would be helpful. You can leave some comments. But a lot of people are afraid of the phone. They don't know what to say, and they're intimidated about real estate. They know that you can invest without cash or credit. They know that you can get in front of motivated sellers because other people are getting in front of motivated sellers, quite frankly. How do you think most of these deals get on the market? Somebody got in front of a motivated seller, put a deal under contract, and boom, it's on the market. So if they did it, you could do it if you did the same marketing and had the same knowledge, right? Like, they're not a special unicorn. They just got there first and built a relationship. So a lot of people, because they're afraid of the phone, they just never get started. They're like, talking to motivated sellers, what do I say? How does that happen? What do I do? When you're talking to motivated sellers, there are only a couple things that you're trying to do, especially on the first phone call. One is build rapport. People are going to sell their property to whoever they like. They're not going to sell their property to somebody they don't like. You don't have to be overly knowledgeable. You do need to be knowledgeable enough to make somebody comfortable with the information. So you need to be able to convey that you have a good grasp of the information, which is why education is the first thing. You don't want to get on the phone with a motivated seller, no matter how motivated they are, if you don't know what you're talking about yet, if you don't have any education yet, and you're not comfortable with the material. So the first thing is get yourself right, get your mind right. Once you have that right, it's just building the relationship. You're always starting off with a rapport. The second step is you're going to ask as many questions as possible about the property and their specific situation. What are they trying to solve? What is their issue? If they're in pre-foreclosure, how many months behind are you? Why'd you get behind? When's the last time you renovated the property? What condition is it in? How many bedrooms is it? How much square foot is it? Is the basement finished? When's the last time you did the roof? How about the backyard? How are the neighbors? Are there any issues with the property that I should know about or that you haven't been able to fix? You want to just kind of dig in and fact find. Everybody's going to be asking you the entire call about, well, how much can you offer me? Well, I don't want to talk. Just tell me what you can pay and, XYZ. But your job is to just say, look, I want to get there. I want to get you the best offer, but I need to know more. In order to get you the best offer, I need to know what we're solving, what your issue is, and what condition this property is in, and what upkeep you've done to it so that I can get you the most value. I could spit out any number, but it's not going to be accurate. Let me get the information, and then we'll get to the number. Does that sound fair? And then keep that conversation going. Your job is never on that phone call to just spit out offers or make value calls on that initial phone call. So you don't need to be intimidated about that process. What you need to do is pick up that phone, make those calls, understand these people are looking for money. They're looking for solutions to their problem, and you are that solution. So this is a call not to take somebody's house, but it's a call to add value to somebody who's in distress. Because a lot of these, there are over 2 million foreclosures every year in the US. People that successfully get foreclosed on, that means nobody helped them or they couldn't be helped. So there are people who go through the hardship. If you're there and you can structure a deal that helps them to avoid that, it's a really good win for them. It's a win-win. So you are sitting on the same side of the table as the seller, as the motivated seller. And that needs to be conveyed as well. You're not just there to swindle them out of their property. That's not what this is about. I hate to burst anybody's bubble, but that's not what creative financing is about and becoming a specialist in that area. It's truly about helping people, but just doing it in a way where you ask that question. Hey, if I was able to help you or get you the price you were looking for your deal, you wouldn't mind if I made some money off the deal too, would you? Most people are like, no, I wouldn't mind at all. As long as I'm able to get help yourself. Let's win. So don't be intimidated by those calls. Talking to motivated sellers is like talking to your grandma. Like there's no big deal. There's usually not a lot of stress. And if it is there on that phone call coming from their end, you just got to deflate it. Hey, I'm just here to get more information, see if I can help you out. It's like talking to a buddy. And that's how I treat the phone calls. I've done some cold calls with some of our mentees, and they were kind of shocked by how relaxing the phone call was. But that's what it's about. People are going to buy and sell, from and to people who they like. And that's just a process. So don't be intimidated by these phone calls or cold calling. These aren't really even cold calls. These are calls to people who need help. You're kind of offering them money. When you're calling people and asking for money, that's a different sale. When you're calling and offering people money, you're not selling anything. You're offering a bag of cash. They should welcome you in with open arms. Hey, Brian, what's your advice for someone new to the game, no deals made? Do you accept people into your mentorship that are super new to all of this? I accept people into the program who've never done a deal before. In fact, I would say the majority of people in the mentorship program are just looking to do their first deal. It's almost the best time to catch you. There's two good times to catch you. One is before you do your first deal, because you don't have any bad habits yet. You're very easy to help because you haven't built up negative habits or bad habits. You might have a mindset, not you particularly, but I'm just speaking to the group. You may have a mindset that is preventing you from getting to the next level. So you may have a mindset that needs work, that needs reconfiguring. But in terms of your actual X's and O's on real estate, you don't have negative or bad habits there. So all I need to do is show you the blueprint. Here's the blueprint. Here's how you execute. Here are the resources you need to be successful. Here's the market that you should invest in. Here's the strategy you should run with. And then be available to you to answer your questions, to guide you through the process, and to make sure you're not making, big mistakes. And to make sure contractors aren't burning you and giving you bad bids, and that you know how to navigate. See, every real estate is not about catching every mistake before it happens. It's about knowing the solution, though. Because it's like when you're just getting started, you might try to do a renovation and you try to do it without permits. Then you got caught and they shut your deal down. They red tagged your door. You got to pull all permits, but you have no idea how to pull permits or where to go or who to talk to. Now you're stuck. A lot of people get stuck there. With mentorship, even if you ran into something like that and you jumped the gun and did all this, I could unwind that. I could show you, oh, just go here, 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 here. Boom, your deal's back online in a week. We got the permit pull. We reach out to this person. That can help you a lot. That can save you tens of thousands of dollars. I've had clients where it's like, we're trying to build a house. The plan examiner wants a sprinkler system added in. No, we're going to pull the permit. We're going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. No sprinkler. That saved $35,000. It's like, it's knowing how to navigate these things, because real estate, I've said this before, your job as a real estate developer is to put out fires all day. You're a fireman. So you have to expect the fires. You're waiting for that bell to ring, but you have the confidence that you can solve it. You can navigate around it. But most of the people are newer, doing their first deal. Then you have the people who are trying to scale up. Hey, I got some capital. I want to scale up. I've done a couple deals, but I want to do a bunch of deals. I want to do 30 deals. I want to really scale myself out of the 9-to-5 ASAP. I got one foot out. I want to get all the way out. You'll get kind of a mixture of both. But if you're new or experienced, the mentorship program was designed for both. It's the 100 Keys Masterclass. It's designed to teach you everything to go from 0 to over 100 properties. 100 different assets. All the skills, all the systems, all the resources, the full blueprint, and what's behind the veil at the different levels. So you can come in brand new and have a 6-month transformation where you don't recognize yourself from a knowledge standpoint, because you've been exposed to so many different disciplines, and it will gradually build up your education until you achieve mastery and can get to the next level. All it requires is consistency. Because the program is giving you over a decade's worth of game and hundreds of deals worth of knowledge. And you have to take your time and absorb that at different levels. So somebody new, I'm going to bring you into the one-on-one mentorship program. I'm going to lay out a game plan for you. And then we're going to work towards you getting that first deal. We're going to hold your hand to get that first deal. We're going to focus on sections of the course that will get you your first deal the fastest. Somebody who's looking to scale, we're just going to talk straight about scale immediately. You've already done your first deal. Let's talk about how to get to the next level. So that is the value of one-on-one mentorship. You can't do that with just a group course, because a group course is cookie cutter. You just slap in and it's just like, best of luck. That's a group course. One-on-one mentorship, you can actually customize to people and meet them where they're at in the journey. And no matter where you're at in the journey, as long as you're getting started and taking action, you can win. You can win really big. There are people that play the lottery every day. Don't play the lottery. Play the real estate game. Why would you play the lottery with the success of winning when you can actually build $1 million of net worth in the real estate game and multiple millions? Like, it's almost more of a guarantee, especially if I'm comparing the two. So absolutely, as a new investor, it's perfect. I mean, what we start off with is mindset, because most new investors don't have the mindset. So you get the millionaire mindset, and then we walk you through the process. As an expert, you still need more mindset because you need to understand how to scale with your mindset. Nice. I just got a text that said we're under contract on a deal. Somebody in the Boots on the Ground program. It looks like my guy from New Zealand. Shout out to my New Zealand Boots on the Ground member. Just got a deal under contract, which is nice. All the way from New Zealand, tapping into the U.S. through our program. So we're super international now, guys. But hope that helps. No matter where you are, too young. I get Brian. I'm too young. Got 19, 20-year-old mentees having success. I'm too old. We got older mentees having success. I'm too new. We got new people having success. I know what I'm doing. I've had those guys get into the mentorship program and scale up. And like, man, I didn't know. Because when you're at that level, when you've already done it before, it's all about tweaks. One little tweak. If you take somebody and course correct them, the power of that is exponential growth. A little tweak, a 1% tweak, could lead to an extra million. I mean, it really can. When you're new, you just need that perfect guidance. You just need somebody who will spend time with you. That's the hardest thing to find when you're new. Somebody who cares enough to spend time with you. And most of these talking heads out there, they don't spend time with anybody. They don't spend time with anybody one-on-one at all. Seriously. You'll be talking to their assistant. Some of you guys are surprised. You're like, oh, you book a call, and you're like, wow, I was really talking with Brian. And it's like, yeah. How else? Like, it's a one-on-one mentorship program. Of course, I'm going to talk to you before you come in, because I want to make sure I can get to know you. Most of these guys, you'll be talking to assistants. They've never done a deal before. Never done a deal before. Another question. What credit score do I need to invest in real estate? It's, I got that question. Do I have mentees in Utah? I do. We got mentees all over the country. Hawaii, Texas, Canada, LA, Washington, Arizona, Vegas, Mississippi, New Orleans, Cleveland, New York, Florida, the Carolinas, Virginia. Like, it's literally the whole country. I bet you if I take our masterclass students and break them apart across a map, I should probably do that as an exercise. We probably have every state covered except for Wyoming. I just haven't met anybody from Wyoming. And they have the smallest population in the country. But I would say every state outside of Wyoming. We even have somebody from Nebraska, from Omaha. We have people from everywhere, all across the country and outside of the country. So, that's definitely there. That's definitely there. But what credit score do I need to invest in real estate? It's complicated. It's a complex question because the real question is, are there lenders who will work with me even if I have no credit score at all, or bad credit? And the answer to that is yes. There are lenders for every situation. I just found a new lender in Philly that works with people they don't even ask for your credit score. They don't even check your credit. They're like one of those no doc lenders where you don't need the W-2s, you don't need the tax returns, and you don't need the credit score. They're just underwriting the deal. We have other lenders that are national that do this. They will lend to essentially anybody. They'll lend down to a 500 credit score and arguably can go lower than that if necessary. So it's not a question of like, what credit score do I need to invest? It's more of a question of strategy and resources, getting connected. I would say if you're starting off with bad credit and limited cash, the first thing to invest in is really you and your education. And once you do that, you will start to learn about the different resources available. But when you get connected with those resources who will invest in you and your business opportunities, your deals, even if you have compromised credit and low cash, you need knowledge. There's two things in real estate: knowledge and money. And with money, I would put cash and credit kind of in that money bucket, because credit is money. It's access to money. The less you have of one, the more you need of the other. So if you are starting off with low cash, low credit, you need more knowledge. If you're starting off with a ton of knowledge, you need very low resources, very low resources, all the way to the point where at the highest level, you need no resources, like none, because you could just go raise the money. I'm going to do a breakout session. I want to add it into the masterclass. I don't think I'm going to do it on YouTube Live. I think I might just do this as a private session and just upload it to the masterclass. But we're going to do one on how to raise a fund, a real estate fund, and what that looks like. So you could go out and raise $250,000, $500,000 to do some deals. What does that look like? How do you structure it? How much does it cost to structure it? How long does it take in terms of time? How do you get compensated as a fund manager? What types of deals can you target? What types of lending can you get for the fund? We're going to break all of that stuff down. But at that higher level, you don't need any cash because you have the know-how and the resources and the connections. The knowledge is the money. The knowledge is the power. The knowledge of the real estate is the power. The real estate itself, it's nice, but it really is the knowledge that you want long term. That's really what I went for when I was getting started, was the knowledge. I wanted the knowledge. I wanted the experience and the confidence, because I knew that properties can come and go. Like, you could lose properties, but you'll never lose the knowledge. With the knowledge, you won't even care. You just be like, I'll go get them back. Because it's just the same thing over and over again. And when you get in this game, you're going to do it forever anyway. You're going to do it anyway. So the knowledge is the power. And I can't express that enough. That's why I have a price on my mentorship program, but it's invaluable. Realistically, especially if you just take it and run with it, it's invaluable because it's over. They got the show $1 million worth of game. This is over $1 million worth of game. And this is actually practical. Like, you can actually go out and do deals and build yourself up. It's not just pie in the sky. This strategy, this is another, it brings me to another question I had got about, I don't even think I wrote it down. Is commercial real estate better than single family or like residential, 4 units and down? And the answer is no, because the average person, even if you're like, watching some infomercial and they're telling you, oh, you should do commercial real estate because blah, blah, blah. The average person doesn't have the capital, the credit, the resources, the knowledge to go out and do a commercial deal from day one. They don't. They just don't. But the average person can go out and get their first deal in this residential game and make money. So learning this stuff, not that, we don't talk the commercial game too, but learning this level of how to get into the residential game, how to get your first couple of deals, build cash flow, and do this remotely, invest out of town in cheaper markets across the country. Having that knowledge is better because it's so actionable. Like, you can actually go out and just execute on it. The distance, the barrier to entry is very low. The barrier to entry on the commercial game is higher. Not that you can't do it and learn about it and execute, but I'm talking about the average bear. The average bear cannot execute at that level. They're just not, they're missing something. They're missing too much mindset. They don't have the confidence. They don't have the contractors or the construction experience. You can always build up to the commercial level. And I would say do it a lot more comfortably than trying to jump into the commercial level from day one. Jumping straight into commercial is risky unless you have tons of capital. But then that goes back to the knowledge money thing. It goes back to the knowledge money thing. So yeah, that's the full-fledged answer to, do I need credit and kind of all of these things. Do I need credit to get started? How much of a credit score do I need? You really can start investing in real estate with little to no cash and bad credit, no credit. And there are lenders even that will work with you with no credit because they just underwrite the deals. And if the dollars make sense, they're going to fund it. So we got to get you connected to those lenders maybe. if you're starting off with bad credit. But in order to get in front of those lenders, you need the knowledge, because they're going to test you. They're going to talk to you. And if you don't talk right and you don't sound right, they're not going to be comfortable. But if you talk the talk and you know the jargon and you have the knowledge, they're gonna rock with you. And it only takes one deal. It's the power of one deal. Daryl said he's about to jump on these links. Everybody should be jumping on those links. Tap into those links in the description. The free real estate training. You can book a call with me and my team. You can tap into the Facebook group. As you can see, we got guys with millions of dollars floating around in these Facebook groups, looking to do deals and structure things with you guys. So make sure you guys stay tapped in. I mean, look, I can facilitate as much as possible. I can connect you guys and connect the dots as much as possible, but you have to take action. It's up to you guys to take action. If you guys know anything about me, I'm out taking action all the time. I'm always trying to make this thing happen. I'm always doing deals. I'm always dropping gems and knowledge for you guys constantly. You got to take action to make things happen in this world. And you got to be part of the solution. You got to be part of the solution out here. Speaking of that, it brings up another question that I keep getting. It's like, Brian, I want to take action, but I keep procrastinating. What can I do to stay motivated and keep taking action? Because you get knocked off your high horse sometimes. And I would say that you stay motivated. I mean, you got to do this stuff for your family. Don't have superficial motivations. In fact, a lot of the times when people call me, I'm just like, what's motivating you? Is this just money? Do you hate your 9 to 5? Hating your 9 to 5 can be good motivation. That was mine. I just hated the 9 to 5. It's like, I can't do this. I gotta do something else. I felt like I was just atrophying at the desk. Like my hands were just like getting carpal tunnel. Like I'm a big guy. Like I'm 6'7", 6'8", sitting hunched over a computer, and I'm like, I can't do this for 30 years. Like this is like I just can't. I can't do that. I got to get up out of this thing. So have your motivations and focus on what motivates you daily, and do things to push yourself in other areas of your life. That's why I go to the gym so much, or I do the park workouts, the calisthenics, because I just got to keep pushing myself in all facets of life. You got to keep pushing yourself. You have to be competitive with yourself as well. You have to be competitive with yourself. When's the last time you pushed yourself to do something outside of your comfort zone? A lot of us just stay in that comfort zone all the time. So you have to be competitive in the sense that you want to push yourself. You believe there's more for you out there. You might be 50. You still have to believe there's more for you out there, and that you can hit your dream, whatever that dream may be. It may be, look, I'm out of this thing. I got $10,000 a month in cash flow. You got to believe it first. I can show you the path and lay out the blueprint, but do you really believe in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Some people come to me, they're like, Brian, like, is this really going to work? And it's like, you don't not believe in me. You don't believe in you. You know, I know what I'm talking about, and you know, I can do it. And I believe in myself. Do you believe in yourself? I believe in you. I believe you can do it. I believe you can all do it and go out and execute. But do you believe in you? And are you willing to push yourself? Even if you look at yourself and make a assessment that says, I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the skills right now. I want to be in that position to do these things, but I don't have the knowledge yet. And I don't feel like I'm ready. That's fine. That's a fine assessment. But then what are you going to do to get ready? What are you doing about that? Or are you just falling into the excuse? Are you just falling into that mindset? And what does that mindset get you? Nothing. Stuck. And you don't want to be stuck as you get older. We're all just getting older every day. You don't want to be stuck any of these days. Every day you want to be moving. You don't want to work out? Go anyway. Stop listening to your head telling you that what you want to do. Forget about it. It's kind of wasted thought, wasted energy. Just do it. Go get the result. Go get the result. So that's, part of the mindset you have to be in. But, staying motivated is about not having those superficial motivations. Money at times can be superficial, a superficial motivation. Not that you don't need the money. You do need the money. You do need to make money, and you do want to do this to be profitable and to build cash flow. But you want to be long minded with this thing, not short minded. And that's where the money motivation can fade, because it's like it's still short minded and it can go away, because then you have success. This can happen to people. Some people, they want the money, they want the deals, or they have a certain goal, and they find out who they are. And they're like, man, I thought I was this dude who was going to keep grinding until I got to $1 million a year. You got to 100K and you were comfortable. So you stop hustling. You got to 100K and you were comfortable. So you stop hustling. And that can be a tough lesson. You're like, damn, I'm the 100K guy. I thought I had that dog in me and that I could really run it up. And I stopped taking shots at 100. Or that number could be 50, or that number could be 30. Everybody has a different objective, goal, and then comfort zone. But are you purely competitive with yourself? Being competitive with others leads to you comparing yourself to others and then making yourself feel worse about where you're at. Somebody's always doing better than you. Some people try to do that with me. They're like comparing themselves against me. I'm not who you're competing with. And you're not who I'm competing with. I'm not competing with anybody. I'm competing with me. I'm competing with me all the time. I could sit in a room. This is like my bat cave. I could sit in this bat cave and be stressed out, obsessed about achieving something, only for the purpose of pushing myself to achieve it. Really for that purpose. Like if somebody else is doing it, I believe I can do it. I believe I have that somewhere, and I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to push myself there. I don't care how long it takes. That type of mindset, that will get you highly successful in the real estate game, because the real estate ain't going nowhere. Paris said, I'm in Philly, bro. Can I shadow you? I'm severely financially challenged, going through the most right now. I do electrical work. If you're open to some sort of bartering arrangement. Look, I think if you're doing electric work, I could definitely, there's always work floating around Philly. So I can definitely get you tapped in. And if you have a skill like that, where you can work with your hands, you don't buy into that financially challenged mindset. Don't buy into it. It's not true. It's a lie. Not saying you might not be going through it right now, because you may be, but could turn around just like that. 1 month, right type of jobs, you might run up 20 bands. Then what you thought was a problem was like, I'm good. Climb a little higher, see a little further. Don't buy into this as a permanent state, because it's not. You just got to connect a couple of dots. You got to fight until it's over, and it's only over when you win. You got to have that mindset. But let's definitely reach out. You should definitely click the link in the description, tap into the free training, book a call. Let's definitely lock in, especially with you being in Philly. Definitely reach out, and we'll see if we can get you connected into some projects. I always know people who are looking for, work, and guys who can work. And I'd say you're only a couple jobs away from running up 10, 20 bands. And then you dig out of wherever you're at and then keep stacking that. And before you know it, you're in your own project. I mean, if you could do the electric work by yourself, you could save yourself 10, 15,000 on a project. Get a couple of buddies together. I know you know somebody who can do some framing. I know you know somebody who could bang out a little HVAC. You need to be thinking about the knowledge piece of this. Get out of the money. That's a good reason to not focus on the money as well. Get out of the money. Get into the knowledge. Understand the power is only in the knowledge. Nobody really cares about the money at the end of the day, because they got more money than you. The lenders got more money than you anyway. What do they need you running around with a ton of money for? They got no knowledge, essentially, and a ton of money. They're looking for the knowledge. The money follows the knowledge and the resources. So you should be focused on the knowledge of how to put houses back together because you're already working in them. And then the resources. How do you build teams? Do you play well with others? Can you put together a little crew? If you could put together a little crew, and then you can find the right deal, there goes the money. So the money is not the thing that's holding you back. The money is what gets unlocked when you get to the knowledge, because the lack of the knowledge of how to put the play together is what's holding you back. So it's holding us all back. That's what's holding us all back. Once you get that play, the money gets unlocked. Because the money's always in the real estate. It's always there. Got to learn how to unlock it. But definitely tap in. And yeah, I say you're right there. You're right there. Most people, you just have to keep pushing, man. You just got to keep pushing. And get one break, get over the hump. But that's what I would say. If you have knowledge of real estate, you're never poor. You're never in financial ruins. You could file bankruptcy tomorrow, kill that debt. You still got the knowledge to build it all the way back from the mud. Nobody can take your electrician knowledge away from you. You can make money with your hands for the rest of your life. So you can never be out of this game. You shouldn't even think. That's why I say don't even think like that. Only think about accelerating to the next level. Only think about that. Most of these obstacles, they're bigger in our head. They're illusions. That's why I say it's a lie. It's not that we're the liars. It's that thought in our head is a lie. We can choose to believe into it or to just sit with it and not give it power. Not give it the power. Give the power to the thought that's going to help you. You know what? Forget that. I need to put a play together. I'm only one away. I'm right there. Because that attitude is going to motivate you. It's going to pull you out of there. That other attitude is going to trap you. There's only two thoughts. Ones that free you and one that trap you. There's only two thoughts in life. Ones that free you and ones that trap you. And you choose which ones to believe in. Which ones to believe in. If you're still alive and kicking, you ain't dead. You ain't out. It ain't over. So you got to keep moving. Sometimes you might lose a battle, win the war. Sometimes you might lose that battle, win the war. The union is BS at times. But just hustle, man. Keep hustling. There's a lot of money out in this real estate game, and they need contractors out here. They need guys who can execute out here. What else we got? I think that's most of the questions. I get this. How do I get in on your next ride along? Click the links in the description, tap in. I get that question all the time. If you guys want to tap into the ride along, you have to tap in soon. I'm going to start sending out kind of the ticket link if you want to lock in your seat to the next ride along. But that's we only take out about 10 to 15 people. So if you don't hit this one, you kind of miss it. You got to wait for the next one. Might be next summer. Like, I don't know. So if you want in on the ride along, definitely reach out and you can tap in and we'll kind of get you guys there. So guys, hopefully this helped. Good Q&A session, good questions on you guys' end. If you guys want to reach me, you know how to get a hold of me. Just click the links in the description, tap in, reach out, text me, email me, however you got here. And we'll get you guys laced up. And if you want one-on-one mentorship, you know where to go. I mean, you really can't go anywhere else in this game for good one-on-one mentorship anyway. But, just tap in, bet on yourself, focus on your mindset, focus on thinking big, and understand that the knowledge of this thing is the real power and the real money. The actual money is fake money. It's a reflection of the knowledge and the work you're putting in and the energy you're putting in. But the real money long-term is the knowledge, because with that knowledge, you can just print money. you can keep making money over and over again, and you can navigate different situations. So guys, stay locked in, reach out, get into mentorship while we're flowing before the price goes up. The price went up of the one-on-one mentorship program 4 months ago. The price can go up again. So while you guys are getting good offers on the one-on-one mentorship pricing, and we're getting you guys in as low on cost as possible, because like I tell you guys, I love working with my demographic. I love working with my people. So we try to keep the price point in a range where the average bear can afford it and can get in and get access to this knowledge. So just reach out, just tap in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't wait. Don't try to wait out the market. The market's not waiting. So how are you going to wait out something that ain't waiting? It ain't waiting. It's adjusting. That's like, to me, that's crazy. How are you going to wait a market out that ain't waiting? I'm going to wait the market out. The market's not waiting. It's not sitting. You won't know when it's a good market. You don't even have enough knowledge to know when the market is good. You don't know enough. I can promise you, because you haven't been through enough. And you don't know that the different pieces of the market makers and how they're going to react to things. I'm one of the only voices, even on YouTube in real estate, that talks about how these market makers are going to maneuver and adjust. I'm one of the only voices. Everybody else just fear mongers you. Oh, rates are going on. Oh, it's all over. It's not all over. It ain't never over. They've been saying that for years. They're always saying that. And then there's always some guy making a ton of money saying, oh yeah, while everybody was sitting on the sidelines, I was over here doing this niche strategy in this market and making a ton of money. Oh, it's the same story over and over again. So you have to decide which one you want to be. You have to decide who you want to listen to. The guy who gives you some fear and traps you, or the one who tells you the information that you need to be able to think freely so you can free yourself from this 9 to 5. Or you can stay stuck in this thing. You can stay stuck in this thing forever, but that 9 to 5 ain't for us long term. It ain't. That ain't it. Ain't no gold watch, ain't no pension at the end of that thing. Ain't nothing at the end. At the end of the real estate game, cribs, freedom, family, time. The one thing that we can't get more of, time. That's what's at the end of it. You get your time back. You get your life back. You can just be yourself. Don't got to put on a suit. Don't got to impress nobody. Don't got to dress no type of way. You can just be you. And that's who you guys deserve to be. It's just you. You don't need to be anybody different. You don't need to impress anybody. You just need to be you. Wake up every day, be you, be the best version of yourself, and you'll be successful. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor, signing off. I'll see you guys in